that beat on replay. Don't worry about what they say. Even the hands on a broken clock, I write 2 times a day. Stay on the grind, no delay. Lay back cause I'm on my way to detonating. I'm taking anything that stands in my way. Lightning, tick, tick, ba-boom, boom.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, this is Renegade Operative here, and I finally got like a code for Rainbow Six Siege beta. Now keep in mind, I didn't pre-order the game at all. I wasn't looking forward to the game that much at all. In fact, it was kind of low on my radar given the fact that a lot of other interesting games were coming out this year, and I figured, you know, what am I going to expect from another first-person shooter? But I got this code in my email, and I decided to give it a gentleman's try and put up my first impressions of Rainbow Six Siege. Now, a little bit of history of Rainbow Six. I have played the older games, and there's a lot to appreciate and value when it comes to this series. And of course, I thought that Rainbow Six Patriots was on the upper echelon of what we were supposed to get, but they just seemed to scrap it for filler and give us Rainbow Six Siege. And a lot of people jokingly in the community were calling it Home Alone the Simulator, and that's practically what it kind of is. You're breaching into houses a lot, and you'll be doing that repeatedly into multiplayer modes of the team deathmatch variants. So I'm going to get into the good points of this game, and then I'm going to get into the negative points because I have a lot to say about it. First off, the good points are that Terrorist Hunt should not go ignored. Terrorist Hunt is a mode in the game where you are having your human teammates with you, and you're having the AI basically combat against you, and there's like 30 or 20 of these motherfuckers, and you're trying to take them out. And I thought that that mode was very fresh for what it was. It was very addicting, and there's not a lot of addicting co-op games in my mind in this day and age especially, so this was a good breath of fresh air. I really love Terrorist Hunt, and I think it was very fun in this game, running around with teammates, taking out terrorists, and just giving it an honest college try. Now, naturally, I love how Rainbow Six operates. It's very slower pace, it's very methodical. If you run out there like a chicken with your head cut off, if you run out there like a wild exotic animal, expect to get killed. This game does not mess around on being aware of your surroundings and having some situational awareness to what's going on in your environment. There will be a lot of shit popping off in the background, so it's kind of crazy and frenetic that way. It's a lot of stuff like people throwing flashbangs and people having remote control cars to scope out the area, because how the team deathmatch variants work is that you're either defusing the bomb, that means you're the attacking team, so you're going in and you're breaching the place and you're storming it, or you're the defending team and you're defending the bomb, so you might have to reinforce the area that you're in the house. You may have to basically, you know, put up some steel walls, and you basically might have to put up some wooden walls, barricade the place, hunker down, throw some barbed wire on the floor, and get ready for the onslaught. And I like that tension of Rainbow Six. It has a very unique tension that you don't see in a lot of first person shooter games, especially a lot of frag head games. You know, I shoot a guy, he respawns, who gives a fuck? In Rainbow Six, I shoot a guy, he doesn't respawn, permadeath, awesome. I just love how this game is tailored that way, and I think it has an audience from where it's coming from. So I'm going to get into more of the good stuff that I see here, and one of the things is that, you know, I do like the whole setup of how they have things. I just wish that it had more various modes to play in, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot in the main game to look forward to, but some of the bad things in this game is just kind of overwhelming, and I'm going to talk about this. The number one issue that seems to rank high to a lot of people, and I can certainly relate to the things that they're saying, is that the servers are very janky in this beta. It's just not good. I got left hanging in particular lobbies all because the match failed to initialize. I got disconnected loads of times just because I got these weird bug checks going on in the beta. When you compare it to something like Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the netcode in that game was perfect so far. I didn't have that many problems with it, as opposed to this one where it's like Ubisoft was really dropping the ball all when it comes to making these servers work and cooperate efficiently. I think that on the launch day of this game, they need to definitely fix these servers, because by the way they are now, and the people that want to hop on the first run-of-the-mill multiplayer matches, they're going to be extremely disappointed with what they receive when it comes to the bad servers and matchmaking when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege. Fix it, please. Please fix it very, very much, and I would very much appreciate that. But as it stands now, I really don't like it. I don't like sitting around in a lobby doing nothing, waiting to get disconnected. I honestly don't like the bullet damage in this game either. I had a situation where there was a guy shooting at me and I was just crouched around the corner, and then all of a sudden he just managed to clip me in the leg, and then all of a sudden I die in one shot. I don't like how it's easy to kill people, because of course naturally any inexperienced jackass could get a kill on you if it's going to be like that. It doesn't make it a lot competitive if they make the bullet damage so high. I understand that this is a realistic first person shooter and not everyone's going to take about 5,000 bullets or whatever, but even COD has that shit where like you really can't take a lot of fire in the line of sight, otherwise you're going down. So I just wish it was fair. Maybe like 4 to 5 bullets before you go down. That would be like a modest amount, but I don't want to peek around some corner and some guy got a goddamn handgun, he shoots me in the leg once and I'm dead. I don't like the bullet damage. It is way too overpowered. They definitely need to fix something like that. When it comes to other problems, they have some performance issues. I don't know. It just felt really sluggish. Like, I have an high-end computer. I have a high-end PC, and it is running my settings on auto detect, and that is ultra, and I swear this game feels like a sub 60 FPS game. It feels sluggish. It feels a little bit too sluggish, and I know it's supposed to be slow and methodical, but I think that they definitely could iron out some of the kinks, and they definitely could control better. I had some issues with the mouse and keyboard setup. Like, I couldn't move and shoot and aim at the same time. It's like every time I try to move and aim, it would just stop, like to a grinding halt. So there's definitely a little bit of mouse and keyboard issues going on with the PC. I'm looking through what else is a giant problem with this game. Oh yeah, I will say that the team deathmatch variant, the defusing the bombs, going in and out, I don't see that lasting in the long term, and maybe that's one of the key problems with this game, is that if they don't iron out any of the issues, then the only thing people are going to come back and play a lot is Terrorist Hunt, because that is a bundle of fun. With the multiplayer variant, you could get easily bored after like 4 to 5 matches tops, because it's the same thing over and over again. You're going into breach, or you're going into defend, and then they switch around and that's it. I just wish there was a lot more flavor, a lot more substance to the multiplayer aspect when it comes to competitive. Otherwise, it's just going to get very stale in the end. It's something they definitely need to take into account when coming to Rainbow Six Siege. They definitely need to spice up the variety, and I cannot stress this enough, because this game has a lot of potential. It's really high up there, and it has a lot of things going for it, but overall, I feel it's too rough. It needs a lot of work, and if possible, if you guys are feeling the same issues, then I think Ubisoft has it where you can actually contact them and talk to them about the beta and the beta problems and what you felt about it, so they can overall make the experience better. I think input is really important, and that's something that I implore people to do. I implore them to, state these issues. I'm stating these issues in the video. I hope someone sees it and takes it into account. If they do, I'll be very, very excited. But I think that the beta is a little bit polarizing. It has good moments with Terrorist Hunt. It has some very tense moments that I enjoy. But all the other problems, like the server issues and the matchmaking and how sluggish the game kind of feels, it just really makes me go, they could do better than this. It just doesn't feel as fun as old Rainbow Six is, and I think that's sort of a problem. They definitely need to grind it in gear and make this the best experience they possibly can, because this is a AAA release that's going to come out before the Division. So Ubisoft, I'm giving you some constructive criticism or whatever, or how you want to take it. Just fine tune the game as much as you can before December. You don't have a lot of time, but I believe, just pack multiplayer to the brim with like much as you can, even if you have to just take out the whole breaching aspect and one person's in the house and they're trying to, contain it, and then the other team is trying to come in and just flat out deathmatch, and they don't have to do any of that shit. They could just go fight the other team or something like that. Some multiplayer variants will be nice. And I think that I really didn't feel that sense in the beta. I felt that Terrorist Hunt was where it was at. And for how the game controlled and the mechanics and everything, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything too groundbreaking, but I do see people complaining that, it's not too fast. It doesn't feel as very responsive as I like it to be. And I can kind of see some of the criticism there as well. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed me talking and rambling about Rainbow Six Siege, the beta. I thought it was just okay. And it had a lot of bad points in it, but again, they can fix this before launch, so I'm not sweating it until I actually get my hands on it. But again, present these problems to Ubisoft, let them see it, talk about it, express it among the community, and maybe it could get better, because like I said, the potential is very, very high for what I see, and I do love something different from the usual Frag Fest fare.